Hey ladies, welcome back to the e-course. This video is going to be on shipping, in case you couldn't tell from the title of the video. I'm really going to start very basic with this, and then I'm going to move up to a little bit more detailed and advanced. I'm sure most of you already know several things about shipping and the basics of how to do it, but I'm going to start from like the very basic, just in case any super newbies or people thinking about starting a business are going to be watching this. So, when you very first get started shipping, a lot of people just stick their products, whatever it may be, in an envelope and ship it, because that's the cheapest way to do it. But I highly recommend to never ever do that, because an envelope just has a stamp on it, and there's several things wrong. There's no tracking with an envelope, and your products can get squished, smashed, defluffed. The envelope can rip, all of the things. Even if you like tape it up really good, it still needs to have a tracking number on it. So I know several of you are packing your item up and taking it to the post office, and while that's great and that works, you don't have to do that. So I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do it, and I'm going to show you how I did it starting off versus how I do it now. So starting off, make sure you are never putting like a hair bow. The camera's kind of cutting me off and it's driving me crazy. Make sure you're never putting like a hair bow or something that is squished in an envelope or even in a poly mailer. You really need to be putting it in a box. And this isn't a great example because this box is a little bit older and doesn't look as fresh, but I don't ship bows, so it's what I happen to have. But a 6x6x6 box is what's perfect, and I recommend putting some cute tissue paper in there, or putting some little confetti paper in there to make it neat. And then put your bow. You don't have to put your bow on a bow card, but a bow card just makes it super professional. So this is an example of a bow card, and I can't guarantee that the name of the shop that's on this bow card actually made this bow, because I just stuck it on there real quick. But this is what a bow card looks like. You can have them professionally made. I know several people, in case you don't, that have your business on them as another way of advertising. This is not something you have to do. It's just something that will help maybe your customer remember where they bought this from if they happen to keep the bow card. So put your bow, assuming you're selling bows, this is still cutting my head off, on the bow card, like so. And this is also a way you can hang your bows up at shows, is putting them on the bow card, punching a hole in it, and then putting it on peg hook. But like this, and then putting in the box, and putting your business card or a thank you or a piece of candy for their kids or something like that in your box, and then sealing your box up. This is the most professional way to package them, and it looks really neat, and the customer feels like they're opening a present. I would also recommend putting your bow, obviously you would need a larger cello bag, but putting your bow into a cello bag before putting it in there, just to protect it one more layer in case the box gets wet or anything like that. This is like a 6x9, so if you're doing a smaller bow, or some little piggy sets would be perfect for this one. But you can also get, I don't have any like right here, but you can also get like the larger ones that I usually use that are about the size of the poly mailer for larger bows also, and stick them in there. If you're making other things such as dog collars or earrings, stuff like that, I recommend getting a box like this. It has some random jewelry in here of mine, but getting a box like this, just type in jewelry boxes, and you can get these at Uline, you can get these in so many different places. I buy mine in bulk because it's cheaper that way, and these tend to be like 15 cents a pop when you buy like 100 of them. And you may not need that many at first, but if you're spending like $15 on 100 boxes, it's really not much, and it's worth it to buy in bulk to spend less per purchase. So box your earrings or your dog collars or whatever it is you're making in jewelry boxes, and then this, if it's taped up really well, can go into a poly mailer, and that would be fine. So when I first started out, I was doing like many of you are, packing it up, taking it to the post office, and having them weigh it. But two things: the post office itself is going to charge you more money, plus you're driving, you're going out of your way, you're having to get in your car and load up all these packages. It's not necessary. You can go into PayPal, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. And you can ship from PayPal. Just get a food scale. I have a food scale right here. I think I got this on Amazon for like maybe 12 bucks. And I'll give you guys a link if you want one directly to this one. This one I actually use for like really big packages because it can hold more than 5 pounds. This one's by Waymax, and this one I think goes up to like 100 and something pounds, so it's really great for larger packages. But you can find even cheaper ones. The one I keep one on my desk that goes up to 5 pounds, which most of you are probably shipping things like this that you can just set on that scale and know exactly how many ounces it is. So going back to the very, very basics, when you are, well, I'll talk about how much things weigh and how much things should cost you when I get over to the computer and show you all that through PayPal. So you can ship directly through PayPal, and you can buy paper like this that is label paper, sticker label paper, and it has 2 stickers per sheet. You can print 2 labels. I typically just use 1 piece of paper for 1 label because that's the setup on PayPal. In most cases, it'll print your label right onto the sheet, and then you can take that off and stick it on your package. That's what I did for years. Works great, saves you time, and you can schedule a pickup through USPS.com to come to your house during their normal route and grab your packages off of your porch for you. As long as you live in a decent neighborhood and you're not worried about your packages getting stolen, and don't live like in an apartment complex or something like that, this will work great. If you do live in an apartment complex, I think you're going to have to take your packages to the post office, but if they're already have the label on them, you can just say these are already ready to go and set them on the counter and walk out, and they will take your packages and scan them in and all that. Especially if they start seeing your face more often. You're still saving yourself money, you just have to drive, obviously. So what I do now though is like this. So this is actually 2 labels. Is I use a Dymo. These are a Dymo label maker. So mine is called the Label Writer 450 Turbo, and it prints 1 label at a time. But I can go into Stamps and prepare. I use Stamps.com now, by the way. So I recommend using Stamps.com if you're shipping like more than 100 packages a month. Because you can do several at one time, which was my biggest complaint with PayPal, was I was doing 1 at a time and it was so slow and it took forever and loading and all that. So I'm going to show you PayPal shipping and Stamps.com shipping right now so that you can just see the difference. And I'm not sure, but I think even with PayPal you can ship with these Dymo label makers, because the thing about these is they don't use the machine. I'll show you. It doesn't use ink. It's it's some sort of thermal cartridge, and I've never had to change it. And I've had that thing for years. I've never had to change it. The only thing you have to replace is the actual labels. You have to buy more labels, obviously, and they're really cheap. So I think I covered this pretty well. If you have any questions, y'all just let me know. There are going to be more videos coming, but right now I'm going to move over to the computer and show you where to go in PayPal, where to go to Stamps.com. I know some people are using Pirate Ship, and I haven't had a chance to look into Pirate Ship, but I think it might even be cheaper than Stamps.com, so I've heard. But keep in mind a few things. When you're charging your customer shipping, it changes every single year. Shipping goes up every January, like I want to say January 20th, but I could be wrong. Shipping goes up. On top of the fact that you need to make sure you're charging for the cost of your cello bag, for the cost of your poly mailer or your box or your bow card or whatever it is that you are using in your shipping supplies should be included in the cost of your shipping. So say this box right now I think would cost like $4.87 to $5.52 to ship. So you need to add like 30 cents at least to the cost of shipping that you're charging your customer to cover your supplies. Just in my opinion, charge up a little bit. And sometimes I will charge without exactly knowing what it's going to weigh, but I try to guesstimate. Another thing is flat rate envelope boxes. Actually, let's just talk about boxes in general. Hang on one second. This video is going to be horrible if I can't get it edited, but something I didn't know early on is the difference between boxes. So let me talk about flat rate envelopes first, because there's a huge difference in a flat rate envelope and a flat rate bubble envelope. So when you're in there, make sure that you're choosing bubble envelope and not just flat rate envelope. If it is the padded envelope, you need to choose padded, because the post office will send your thing back or charge your customer the difference that you didn't pay for if you didn't choose the right one. So if you're going to use a bubble envelope, make sure you're choosing the padded bubble envelope and not the regular flat envelope. Okay, so boxes, I'm talking too fast, I need to slow down. The boxes. Okay, so when I first started and someone would order a whole lot, I would go straight to medium flat rate box. This is what it's going to fit in. This is the medium flat rate box. And these boxes are free. You don't have to pay for the box itself. You just pay whatever. I think it's like $13.20 right now to ship this box. As much as you can fit in it, as long as the box can fold flatly and it's not bulging, it costs $13.20. But my favorite thing is using these regional A boxes. It is a little bit smaller, but not a ton smaller. And the regional A boxes, as long as you're shipping somewhere within your, like, for me, I'm in Texas. If I shipped to Oklahoma or Tennessee or Louisiana or anywhere really close to Texas, it's going to be cheaper. Around $8 to ship in this thing versus $13 to ship in this thing. So always check if this is going to be cheaper. In most cases, it probably is going to be cheaper to ship in a regional A box. So I go on to USPS.com and order all of my free shipping supplies. So I stock up and I'll grab like a 25 pack of this and a 25 pack of this and a 25 pack of these. I actually get a whole lot more than that, but just to have them on hand so that you have options of what you need. And for the poly mailers, my favorite place to get poly mailers is U-Pack and Ship. The letter U, P-A-K, the letter N, ship.com has really cute designer poly mailers for really, really good prices. So I highly recommend these. Okay, now let's move over to the computer. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to print a label from PayPal in case for whatever reason you don't know that yet. Sorry, there's a fly in here and it's driving me crazy. So you're at your invoice within PayPal. Your customer's paid. I actually paid it from my other PayPal account just so I can use this as an example in case my address shows up, which I think it will. You know, just ignore that. So you're going to click on Print Shipping Label. All the information is going to come up here. So this is the most important right here is service type. You're going to choose USPS in most cases. UPS you could probably use to ship larger packages, but in most cases you're not going to use UPS in my opinion. So service type is the most important. You always want to choose first class as long as you are not using one of those flat rate boxes that I gave you, like the medium flat rate box, the regional A box, and the bubble envelopes are all going to be, those are going to be priority mail. This one, but in most cases with the box that you put the tissue paper in with the confetti paper, the 6x6x6 box, so whatever size you decide to use, or a poly mailer, you're going to choose first class mail and then package thick envelope, not large package. Even up to like, I want to say almost 50 pounds, probably still not large package. I could be mistaken, but almost everything is packaged thick envelope. And then you're going to weigh your item. And like I said, get one of those food scales. My scale is actually like right there. Set it, weigh your item. In most cases, it's going to be under a pound. So under 15 ounces is the first class thick envelope. So if it weighs more than a pound, you automatically have to do priority mail. You can do priority mail in a poly envelope or a poly mailer, and you'll just pay the price for it, probably like $8 to $10, whatever. So if it goes over a pound, you want to use the padded envelope or a flat rate box. But under like 15.8 ounces and under is going to be first class mail. So choose your ounces, whatever your weight, your scale says, you're going to choose that. You always want tracking. Always have tracking. It's free. You don't need to pay anything extra for that. I would highly suggest adding insurance if it's something expensive. If you're shipping maybe a $50 or $60 tumbler or some really expensive earrings or something like that, over $50, if the cost for you or your customer is over $50, I absolutely would recommend adding insurance. And then you don't really need to change the mailing date. You want to mail it today, you want to mail it tomorrow, whatever that is. You're going to click over here on calculate shipping. And it's going to tell you your total is $3.46. And that's it. Confirm and pay. And actually, I'm not going to do it. Confirm and pay. And then just make sure your paper is in the printer that I showed you. That shipping label paper is in the printer. Put it in upside down, obviously. and then you should be good to go. So now I'm going to show you Stamps.com, and then I will show you my Dymo label maker that I use that saves me so much time. Okay, so this is what Stamps.com looks like. I do want to let you know while I'm getting it all loaded here that Stamps.com does cost like $15.99 per month. But like I said, for me, it's totally worth it when I'm shipping like 15 to 20 packages a day or something like that. It just makes it so much easier, and I'll show you exactly why. I wouldn't recommend using it if you're not shipping a lot, just because you are paying that $15.99 a month, which isn't much, but compared to PayPal, which you don't have a fee for, it is worth it to me. But I'll actually go in here and see how much 8 ounces is, just because that's how much I used in the other example, to see if there is a price difference. Because that's not something I super paid attention to, because I knew that if there was a price difference, it probably wasn't going to be much. And the fact that it saves me so much time in shipping is the reason why I prefer this. And like I said, I think Pirate Ship is somewhat like Stamps.com. I am not totally sure. So I'm trying to do this where I'm just going to do a new order. So this is what it looks like. You have all your invoices or come in here. You can connect this directly to, you can see like this is my main PayPal, my Lulu's Boutique Supply PayPal. This is my Jazzy Lou Ribbons PayPal. This is my website invoices. These are my Etsy invoices. Like it all imports from those sites into here. So all of those invoices are in here. The customer's name and address comes in, their email comes in, and all that stuff is right here. So what I'm going to do, just to show you the examples, I'm going to add a new order because I haven't imported the invoice that just came in. And I'm just going to put myself again, just as the example. This stupid fly is going to drive me crazy. In most cases, you will never have to input the address yourself because, like I said, it's already imported over here. So I'm going to put the 8 ounces just like I did for the other example. This one also just allowed where you can use UPS also, but always make sure it says USPS, assuming you're using the actual postal service. Right here. So this is where your options are, and you can edit it so it shows you more options or less options. I just kept the ones that I use the most, which are these two areas. First class is here, priority is here. Here you can see a regional 8 box, regional B box, medium flat rate, large flat rate. I never use small flat rate. I guess you could use a small flat rate for bows that you want to like get there quicker. But in most cases, I say just do package thick envelope. It already comes with a tracking number. You don't need to add any of that stuff. And I don't remember how much it was going to cost me over there. I think $3.87. I could be wrong. How much was it going to cost me over there? Here it's going to cost me $3.46. And then you're just going to hit save. Sometimes it'll give you like an address suggestion change. Like right now it's trying to change it, but it's literally exactly the same. It just added the other 4 zip code numbers that I left off. So accept, and then you click it, it turns green, and you click print. So when I click print, it might actually print it. So, oh, it's definitely going to print it. That's okay. I'll refund it to myself. So when I click print, it's going to go to my Dymo label maker because that's the way it's connected. So now I'll actually show you my Dymo. Okay, so I hit the button a little too late for it to print out, but this is the label I just created, coming straight off my Dymo. There it is. It's got sticky paper. All I do is peel it off and stick it on. So this is the 450 Turbo. There are several different kinds of this, but I'll send you a link to this if you want to get it. I say it is well worth it. It doesn't use ink. It prints super fast. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to show you in Stamps.com, oh, and this is my scale. This actually came with the Stamps.com subscription thing that I did. So this came free. It's an actual Stamps.com scale that is plugged in and connected to my Stamps.com account. So what I wanted to show you with Stamps.com is that, say I need to print like 4 of these labels. I need to print this one and this one, and this one, and this one. Well, I'm just going to do one at a time, but you can do it right on the screen. So here's one of my customers. I'm going to put her weight at whatever the scale. I'm really just going to hit weigh once my package is on there, and it's going to weigh it for me. And darn it, I clicked it, so now it's going to load. It's telling me this, there's nothing on the scale, so that's what it's saying. So I'm going to put the weight on there. I'm going to choose first class. It's telling me, oh, her address isn't in there. Let me choose someone whose is. I might have to blur these out. I'm going to put the weight in there. I'm going to choose the first class or package thick envelope. And when it's going to turn green, it's telling me it's good to go. So then I want to print this lady's at the same time. I'm going to put her weight in there. And I'm going to click package thick envelope. And also, if you click on their name, you can click, it's going to go slow, of course. You can click to make sure it emails them telling them what their tracking number is. I always try to click that, and sometimes I forget, which is why sometimes you may not get your tracking, is if I forget to click that, then it will not email. So if I want to click more than one person at a time, I'm just going to click both of them that are green and ready to go and click print, and it's going to charge me for it and print both out at the same time. And I do up to like 20 at a time, especially when I'm doing my VIP. I can just do all VIP at one time. Super, super simple, and it goes so fast. So there's that. If you guys have any questions about shipping or different ideas or different places to get it, I'll try to give you the links to the Dymo, to the label sticker paper, to these labels, to scales and all that within the group, so that if you are interested in any of that stuff, you can buy it without having to search around. I'm going to link what I use at least, but feel free to search around. It's been a while since I've purchased any of this stuff because this stuff just lasts for years and years. So I hope this helped you guys out a lot. If you have any questions, let me know in the group and I'll get with you. Have a good night.